Alright, so for this episode we're going to start with the progress on the next perimeter. So we're on the server still. So we're gonna see if the server can actually handle the World Eater. I hope it can. So I'm gonna stop recording, launch it, and I'll tell you how successful it is, because that'll free up more of my computer's resources just for here. If we start dipping below 60 MSBT up here, which means that we're lagging a second behind, I will probably take that off the server, put it on a single player world, and run it then. But yeah, let's start with this World Eater. We'll see how it goes. Along the last couple layers here. Now I haven't gotten any diamonds at all because the stutter is still there and I don't really need any more. I almost have 3 stacks of diamond blocks, so I'm not too worried about any diamonds at this point in time. Maybe later down the line when we actually want to get a lot for some reason, if we finish a lot of projects or stuff like that, but for now we don't really need them. And yeah, so actually if you look up here, we are actually doing better at 2x speed. So this is on the server still. The server is perfectly handling this perfectly fine, and I'm running it at 2x speed, and it's handling it way better than my single player world, which I frankly don't understand, but I'll accept it. So yeah, I mean, technically it's doing worse. It was doing worse in my single player world, which doesn't make sense to me. But I can tell you that the server does not like it. Well, the server obviously can handle it. It's just the console is just doesn't like all of the blocks getting destroyed with the TNTs, but what can you do? But yeah, this is the last one right here, I believe. Oh, we can do one more. Can't guess what we're gonna do based off the location, because we're in the middle of a birch forest, so nothing's really special about that. Just the fact that there is some special structures, or bounding boxes rather, in this area. So if you can guess what it is, good on you, because most people probably can't. But finally have another perimeter, and we already have everything here for the floor. So yeah, that's all the blocks we need for the floor. And I'm going to get that in place, and then I am going to head out and go to the whale skeleton farm and start working on that. So let's go. Oh yeah, just as a side note, it's actually done. There was a wall over here, I think, if I remember my direction, that's over here. It wasn't fully done, I didn't finish it. Just because you need more concrete powder, but as you can see, we did extend it all the way up into the ceiling, so you can barely see anything, and if you do, I am not bothered by it at this point in time. Like right there, you can see a little bit of red, but you have to really focus to see that. But yeah. So how I did that, in Tweakaroo, there's this thing. If you look down on the bottom, it says toggle hotbar sort randomizer. So if I go into my inventory and just put these extra concrete that I had, so it's on right now, it would randomly select a hotbar slot for me to use. And then, yeah. So that's how I did the top 2 layers and a bit. So it would give it the same randomization. So you probably couldn't even tell that I did that. You probably would have. It looks pretty much the same because it's all randomized. But yeah. Alright, so we're not exactly ready for the whale skeleton farm. We need to do some gas catching because we're going to be using those guys. And as you can see right here, we're getting one to go into the spot in place. So we have space for 40. We only really need 36. It's just for a couple insurance ones in case somehow one of them dies. Who knows? Takes damage or something, but yeah. So it's really not the best looking thing. Definitely temporary at the moment. So it looks pretty terrible, to be honest, but it is working, as you can see. And yeah, so they spawn on this platform. We have the torches to make sure that no skeletons spawn, since we are in a soul sand valley. We only get Ghast and the rail didn't switch.
Why?
Oh no.
Just kill him.
So do the one manually. Do not put a detector rail there. Where is it? Oh, it's missing redstone, that's why. Gotta build the farm. This will be, technically it's my design. I use a couple, I guess, inspirations, but pretty much everything will be in my design. It will be a two-dimensional one, so you will have to have 2 players or either a bot with carpet to either load the overworld or nether. I think the nether is the easiest one, so you have to stand there, but we'll have to see. That guy spawned right next to the thing, so he should get picked up. Nope, he's half a block away, and now he's in the way, and he's gonna get pushed away. So yeah, we got probably about 30 minutes to an hour until these guys are all filled, but it's gonna be worth it since we need not only just the wheel skeleton skulls, but also the bones and even the coal. Honestly, we'll take the coal. But yeah, lots of sitting here waiting for gas. Oh, alright, so I had to change some things up, and now we have, instead of the 40 ghasts, we now have 60. So we only need 54, I believe, but might as well just keep it all symmetrical and things, get 60 in case something ever goes wrong. We have the extra backup for the farm. So yeah, this is my design. We'll show it off right here. We'll load the schematic in a little ways over here. So you go to this one, and we go to Wither Wiper. So yeah, this is what we're going. It's based off the Zipcrowd server, if you guys remember that. It is a JL2579 is where I saw it from, but I adapted it to work with 2 dimensions as well, and with our special shape of the crossroads. So yeah, we have one crossroad over here, and then we have this L shape right here. So that was the challenge, because it wasn't a perfect 3 in a line, or it wasn't like a square, which if we had a square that would have been really nice, but we don't, so it's fine. So yeah, this is what we're doing. So down here is where we'll have the on-off switch. Well, this will be somewhere in the center of the perimeter. So it's not going to look exactly like this. It's just like a temporary mock-up to symbolize what is going up there. So yeah, this button will give a T flip-flop with this right here. So this will go back and forth with this. So if it's off, the composter is not next to the comparator. If it's on, this composter gets pulled back to the comparator. And then once that note box gets triggered by the comparator reading the signal from the composter, we send that signal up to all 3 different sides. So this one has its own 15 repeater clock for all on 4 ticks, of course. And then this one over here has it as well, but it's a little bit longer of a delay. And then this one over here is a 30 repeater tick clock. So yeah, that's just to give this one longer so that we flush this one over first, and then this one goes over and pushes them all back this way. Now it's not going to work 100% because there's no glass here, so we might get some mobs that spawn on the outside here, get pushed over to here, but eventually they will get pushed further in because of these guys, and then eventually end up in here. This is why I was a little hesitant with this side, but eventually it will work. And yeah, so they got pushed all into the portals, which frees up the mob cap really quickly. We don't have to kill them in the nether. So then if we load this one right here, this will be the overworld side. So they're getting through to the portal, and this portal we have on the overworld. They will either push each other out, or this was 1 or 2 of those staying in there because of this glass, that either they have to come out this side. And yeah, so this one, same lever mechanic. I'm pretty proud of this redstone right here. I was able to keep it quite compact. But yeah, so we have that same comparator with the composter. So that button right here will power this dust, power in this repeater, giving us that 1 tick pulse we need. basically because of that piston right there, given that. And then yeah, so we take that and power this lamp here to continuously power that on, indicating that this system is on as well. And then from that same dust, we then trigger this observer to then trigger this note block, one tick in this note block so that it stays right here. This will start the clock that goes around in a circle just like this. This gives us the output signal right here to this dust, which powers this note block, which then this observer observes, powering this block, shifting that piston that way. And then we observe that and then train that. So we then power this note block, which powers these pistons. And you can see why you're wondering what are they pushing. There was an occasion where there was some drops that get stuck on here and then they're in like the perfect position right here. Even though if they get pushed over on there, they won't fall through. So we use this system right here to push them and then they fall down here. And then we then send that same signal from here to this piston over to here to this piston to push it back. So yeah, observers make everything so much more compact and I love it. I don't know where it got shot from, but that's fine. But yeah, so quite happy this has turned out. We're going to need to get a portal, entrance portal for us. So it would probably be a little bit higher, since we'll probably put an exit portal for us up here, so that we can leave easily and not obstruct our perimeter here. But yeah, that's this design. It's quite happy how this turned out, and you're probably wondering why I went through all this effort just to keep the drops in item form instead of collecting them with a hopper minecart. Honestly, it just seemed better to me in the end, since of all the swords we're going to be getting, as well as because we're going to be getting zombie pigmen, as well as wooden skeletons and blazes. This will just make the whole item thing much more simpler to deal with, instead of having to deal with items, with the swords getting stacked up and everything. It's just going to make it so much easier. And yeah, so we're going to push them. There'll be water here, and then we'll just flush them to a storage that we'll build up later. But yeah, that's going to be our wooden skeleton farm. Really excited for this thing, since I have been working quite a long time on it, especially trying to get this thing as good as I want it to. It should be pretty well, but yeah. Alright, so off on that time lapse, we have the first layer on. So that includes the down here where we put the button and everything. So we did have to reroute some things. So I wanted this guy to be in the center so that they can AFK in the center of the perimeter, which is these 4 center blocks right here. So I moved that. It was originally over further, so that means we have to reroute the observers, but that's not a big issue. So some of the timings might not be the best, but that's okay. This one's independent, so it doesn't really matter. As long as this one starts later than this one, or as long as that one starts earlier than this one, we won't have an issue. Which looks like it should. We'll have to see. But yeah. Forgot I had to add carpets to stop the magma cubes from spawning, the big ones at least. We might get some small ones, which won't be an issue. We can just put a little storage for magma cream over there. Not a big deal. Take up a little bit of this, the spawns, but won't be terrible, to be honest. There's like very low chance for them to spawn, so you need like a 1x1 I think, because the big and medium ones need a 3x3. So we cut all those spots off with the carpets here. And then we might get some small ones, but it's not a big issue, like I said. But yeah, one layer down. I did have to use smooth stone slabs just because I don't have 6 shulker boxes of nether brick that I had for the auto design. I think it might look okay. We can obviously decorate it later down the line, but I want to get it up and running for now. So yeah, one layer down. That was a time lapse. I don't think I'm going to do the next 2 layers in a time lapse. Back to the grind. And yeah, so we expanded the hole. So remember we had a 2x4 here, so we had 4 like this way and 2 like that. I expanded it. I'm hoping that they don't take damage over here. I'm holding very closely what to do. I'm going to have to expand it to a 6x6 because I want it to be even. I mean, it won't be too much, but it's still going to be like way more than I want to do. But yeah, so we're going to try with this first guy right here. We have a block underneath the powered rail right here that we're going to place a torch on. Set them off. Hopefully these glass blocks are in the right spot. And this goes all the way down here. So the track goes all the way down, and then it'll slot him into here. We had to get rid of the glass in his face, so we're going to have to come back pretty carefully, try to power this piston to push that block in his face. Hopefully that works. We have the rest of them set up. We just have to move the track. But yeah, gotta keep it on the minecart, so that's a plus. We don't gotta get him out of the minecart, which that would be a really rough thing to get him out, but let's try it. Took a little bit of damage. I put a glass block there. Oh no. Why did I think that would work? There should be a glass in his face, so he shouldn't be able to see me. Oh, he can see me. Alright, stand right there. So we have to somehow get a solid block there. He's going to end up killing himself. Yep, there he goes. Well, that's why we got more than we needed. For this very reason right there. So yeah, let's try it again. Not too worried about it. We have before we need to get more, and I'm hoping I don't need to get more because I tore down the whole thing. Well, most of it blew up from the bedrock break-in, so that's where most of it went, but we still got most of the stuff there. I mean, I hope I don't have to rebuild it because I don't know exactly what I was doing. But yeah, that looked good to start off with. This one we got down. It took 1 tick of damage. That's not bad. 2 ticks of damage. Not the best. Should slot right in there. Yes. Now we got to go down there. Very carefully. Make sure it doesn't see us. And then just power that piston. Right there. And there it goes. He's in place. So yeah, that's not bad at all. I think I have some potions of healing. Hopefully that's the right potion for them. But yeah, we can splash those guys with that. Won't be too big of an issue. Can I... Oh... Okay, we're gonna have to launch him. To get these blocks out of his face. And yep. So that confirms that's all working correctly. Gotta do it for this guy over here. So we'll just move the track like that. And we'll put the redstone block there. And we're gonna have to move this one over here. Like that. And now we're ready for the next guy. So let's go back up. And there is 18 ghast a layer. So that's going to be quite a lot of moving around, especially going to the other side over there. Got to expand the track all the way over, then all over here. 3 times. Just because of there's 3 layers to the farm. But we'll be fine. We've done way more grindy things than this in the past, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, next guy. We are good to go, right? We did switch that track over, powered fully. Yep, track switch, good to go. Now we'll launch this guy here. Down he goes. I didn't put the glass, make sure we stay out of line of sight. I didn't put the glass on the track, so we gotta make sure we stay out of line of sight there, else he would have shot. There we go. Launch him. Boom, there we go. 2 in. So I got a lot more of this ahead of me. It's gonna take quite a good amount of time. But we gotta need it. As you can see, they're pretty much right on top of each other so that there's as little chance as possible for mobs to get smushed in between them. Because of their hitbox, you would pretty much get here and just get pushed. And yeah, gotta like the portals, but still got 2 more layers to build on top of this. So yeah, I have a lot of work ahead of me. Hopefully Alex can get on and help me with either the building or the movement of Ghast. But yeah, a lot of work, so let's get to it. Alright, so we have been away for a little bit, but we had some progress done on the skeleton farm. So my mic sounds different. It is because I got a new mic. I pretty much came home one night with hopped on a call with Alex, and it pretty much said he couldn't even bother. I couldn't even try to make out what I was saying because it was just really bad. I tried a new cable, I tried a new USB port, tried all that stuff, tried updating drivers, everything. Nothing happened. Still was getting worse and worse, even after all that stuff. So went out, got a new mic. So this is the Blue Yeti I'm using right now. I used to use the Razer Siren X. Spent the past hour or so getting all the stuff tuned in. Hopefully it sounds better, because it wasn't the most, cheap thing, but I wanted to upgrade, not downgrade. So yeah, we have the 3 layers, all 3 layers of Ghast in place, and we have the mob switch turned off so we can see the mob spawning. Now we're not done with the nether side yet, or the overworld side yet. We're done with the nether side. We just need to link everything up, get the storage all good, and then we're good to go with this farm. Do like how this looks without the gamer override on as well. It still looks pretty cool. Obviously didn't have enough to do all blackstone or nether brick slabs here, so we had to just go with regular stone or smooth stone. But I still think it looks pretty well. I wish I could change the color of the ice to like black ice or something like that. I think that would look really cool with this. Like the black ice and the black glass. I think it would look really sick. But turns out okay for right now. But yeah, still excited with the new mic. Hopefully it sounds better for you guys. That's why everything else sounds different right now. That's the reason. So yeah, we get working on the overworld side, finish the storage up, and you can actually see the farm in action. So let's get back to work. Right, after many iterations of this kill chamber, we have it the best I can actually get it at this point in time. So you can see some things are a little bit different, and we do have shaders on as well, so that helps it out a little bit. But yeah, this over here is a little bit different. It will change a little bit just by this getting condensed a little bit. And then this got extended a little bit because I was going to have some other things, but that got changed. So yeah, we ended up with these two pistons here as we did before. There were a lot of iterations where I was trying to push items over here, but this is the best one so far. There is still an issue, which is why we have this other guy here who is looking right at this corner here. And he will be getting rid of any little baby pigmen that get stuck. So the baby pigmen somehow can fit right through here. Like they can fall straight down and go right into there. But it's, I don't know how, because they can't go anywhere else. Because even if they get stuck on top of this fence, they can't get pushed over. And yeah, so this is the final one that I've decided to stay with for now, since we can get XP and as well as hit them through here. Now we do have to use the XP no cooldown with carpet to actually collect all the XP, but that's something I'm willing to do. I mean, honestly, the game would just crash, so I'm fine with that. And then up here, that guy's like, they're like, the boats are like 1 pixel off, but I can't really go in there and fix them anymore. But so it's fine, they have to stay there. So, but usually there's only 1 mob there, and then the rest when they come in get pushed off. But yeah, so we got I needed to add these guys in boats here to push them off, because we were getting quite a build up. There was sometimes about 50 to 60 mobs just sitting on these 2 blocks right here. Didn't want that, so we added the boats in. I was going to add a ghast because you only need 1 ghast, but that would require a 4x4 portal, and that just wouldn't be good. So yeah, that would make the whole thing down here a lot more complicated than it already is. I spent so much time on this already. So yeah, this is our collection, or killer board with the storage as well. And that's our portal from the perimeter. So we had to put it up here because of the different portal heights and everything. So that's all the way up there. And yeah, so we can use this farm in action. We got our piglin guy down there, ready to swap any baby pigmen that come down there. And we gotta sit back here. We can either go up or back, doesn't really matter. They can't hit us. So we gotta aim right at the legs right there. You can see that just barely we can see their feet. And then we would swipe. And then their drops would get pushed along to here. And you also would fill your inventory up with some skulls, because it's not perfect. Somehow the items can glitch through these trapdoors and start spurring everywhere, but some drops will land here, but they won't be matter because they'll despawn in 5 minutes. The baby pigmen down there, since they can pick up items, they won't despawn. So that's why we have to get rid of them. But yeah, so we're going to go back. We would obviously use the things, but this is just for proof of concept that show that it actually does work. And in a few seconds, we will see some mobs come. There's we're in through that portal. That's just the first wave. It's not the best one. You'll wait a couple more, then there you go. There's the big guys. So that first one is usually just the 1 single module. The next burst is usually the L shape. Just because of the timings. The other one is a lot bit longer, but you can see that's the first one, and then there's the second one. So this thing, once it gets started to heat up, it gets kind of insane, which is why we need the XP no cooldown, or else we would run into some issues with the XP lag, which would end up crashing the game or in the server. So yeah, that's why you need the XP no cooldown. You can see I'm already at level 211, which is pretty crazy, but this was after a lot of testing. There was a lot of designs that I've been testing, and this one seems the best so far. I'm probably going to end up leaving it like this. It's not perfect, but it does get the job done. So a little bit of my tweaking, making sure he's looking in the right area, and we should be fine, not have any pigmen build up down there. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. So glad with how this thing turned out, especially with shaders. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, all those sorts of things, and I'll see you in the next one.